So
I'm excited.
first one, this will be fun. I like to start with this one because
Okay.
it breaks the ice quickly, right? Grossest thing you did or ate while on trail. So like hiker trash moment.
Yes. So I've been thinking about this one, and honestly, I didn't eat anything really that gross on trail,
Okay.
which is kind of surprising because like you meet a bunch of people and they're like, I ate this gross thing, and you're like, cool. It depending on who you ask, my gross thing might be the time that I ate peaches and cream oatmeal with beef jerky for dinner.
Okay.
But I think the grossest thing I did was, and there's a video clip of this that someone in my family got, but Prodigy, one of our girls, like cut her knee and she's like upset about it and kind of crying. And I was like, do I need to kiss it? And it's like bleeding out. Like it's a dirty hiker leg with like
Right.
blood coming out of it. And so I had to kiss it. And so that's kind of gross. Like it's not the most sanitary and like healthiest thing to do, but I did it because I was like, we're almost to Canada. If it's gonna kill me, it'll kill me, right? But that's like,
Almost made it. Yes.
yeah, almost made it. Like I can survive 2 weeks, right? Um, that's probably one of the grossest things that I've had.
Okay. Yeah, and actually the peaches and cream oatmeal and beef jerky, that's an interesting combo. I think some
It
people would be like,
so
ew.
depending on your jerky, like if you had like the original, then it was kind of like a sweet and salty a little bit.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was is interesting to say the least. But
Yeah, I
that's
would
the
definitely
only
try
food
it.
I had.
hmm
I like carried oatmeal for 200 miles, and I was like, I need to eat this.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I did.
Awesome. Okay. Next rapid fire. UL or don't care.
Okay, so I'm a don't care person, but I met a hiker when we were in Snoqualmie known as Starfish, and she coined the term comfortably light.
Oh,
And I was like, I feel like I resonate with that. Like,
yeah.
she was like, think about ultralighters. They're cold, they're hungry, and they're miserable. Think about us. We have a pillow and we're happy to be here. And I was like, wow, you like summed it up. Like, that sounds like my kind of ball game. So,
Yes. I love it. Comfortably light.
I yes, I prefer the term comfortably light.
I'm writing that down. I love it.
Yes, I know.
I feel like I resonate with that as well.
I
And a
feel
lot
like
of, oh, go ahead.
I feel like when you talk about like ultralight and stuff, like not saying ultralighters are stupid, but like the whole concept of it is like kind of in a whole different extreme. But if you talk to most hikers and you're like comfortably light, they're like, okay, like I don't have to stress about like having a 8 pound base weight. Like if I'm comfortably light, then like I'm okay.
hmm
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm interested to have because whenever I ask this question to people on the podcast or YouTube video, most people say something in akin to this, like, I try to be as light as possible. I like to be lighter, but I'm also comfortable. Like I'm a mix of both. I'm kind of in
Yeah.
the middle where I kind of care, but at the same time, like there's certain luxury things that I have that make the trip a little bit more comfortable
Yeah.
or worthwhile. So you kind
Oh
of
yeah.
pick and choose what you're willing to carry.
Yeah.
Um,
I learned about that in
yes.
many different ways. I learned all about my hoarding flaws while I was on trail, so that was fun to deal with.
Yes. Yeah, I'm interested if we do get like an actual major ultralighter on. I'm definitely interested to hear what they have to say because I feel
Yeah.
I've met quite a few on trail,
Oh, I
obviously.
did too. Like some of
And
those guys, it's
yeah.
insane.
Oh yeah.
Like half the time I met them, I didn't believe them. Like one guy came through with like, those like the runners packs. All
Oh
he had,
yeah.
and he was doing a 3-day section, and he had a tarp, like a couple of snacks, some water, and that pack, and that was like the only thing he had. And he was like, yeah, I'm an ultralight trail runner and I'm doing the trail in so many days. And I looked at him and I was like, thank you for strolling into this trail magic. Like, hi, welcome. Like, I didn't believe him. He's like, yeah, my base weight's like 3 pounds. And I was like, how? I was like, how are you that light? That's what my sleeping bag weighs.
Right. I know.
Like,
One piece of gear.
yeah, I know. It's like crazy, like meeting people and learning like all their different gear, like specs and stuff. Which is funny because I claim to not be a gearhead, but like now whenever I go in public, I can like point out people's shoes or like what gear is good and bad.
Right.
Not saying that any piece of gear is bad. It just depends on how you use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and what you maybe balance it with, like you have something that's heavy, maybe you balance it with something else that's
Yeah.
light, or whatever, something like that, like a
Something.
quilt, or
Yes.
yeah, to cut weight, add weight, cut weight. I do that all the time. I have my luxury items, but yeah,
Yes.
it will be interesting to talk to more ultralighters and see what they have to say because I feel like they're willing to go without the comforts. Maybe they're cold, maybe they're not, maybe they're eating cold soaking, or whatever. But I think in a lot of different ways they like that about, it's tougher, it's harder, they're more uncomfortable more often. So that might be a gravitational thing for them too. But yeah, definitely want to get more ultralighters on to just kind of
Yeah.
like pick their brain about that because I saw a lot of them in passing,
Yes.
but never had like a deep conversation
Oh yeah.
about that. So, okay. Next rapid fire question: boots or
Like
trail runners?
trail runners and more specifically the Hope Speed Goat fours.
Yes.
Uh, I love that shoe so much. Like I struggled on the PCT. Like I thought I was doing real good. Like I really like Sportivas. Like, and I was like, okay, I really like this shoe. I'm doing great. And then I tried the Hoka and it changed my life. And I don't think I can ever go back to any other shoe.
That's what a lot of people say about the Speed Goat specifically. And I wonder if it's because it's so much more cushion. Is
Oh,
that right?
so yeah, so it has like the Velcom like
Or
rubber
Vibram?
Vibram, yes.
Yeah.
It has like the Vibram and then it has foam and then it has its insole and then whatever insole you put in with that, like it's just a good shoe. Like it's very rolly, which I at first didn't know how I feel about it, but once you're going over like really rocky terrain, like a lava field or something like that, it's the perfect shoe.
Mm, yeah. I'm tempted to switch because I do Brooks
Do it.
Cascadias. Do
Okay.
it.
Yes,
Do
you should
it. Okay.
try it. Like
Yeah.
even if you don't like the pair, you can use them as an everyday shoe
Yeah.
and you'll like love it. Like it'll be fine. And if you
Okay.
don't love it, depending on what your size, send them to me because I need them for my next
Okay.
thru hike.
Okay. I wear a female's like size 10 or 10 and a half, depending on how
Yeah,
far I'm
that would
going.
probably fit me.
Perfect. We could be shoe buddies if I don't like
Um,
it.
I tried being shoe buddies with someone else and it didn't quite work out. So
Okay. Yeah.
that's kind of sad.
Different size or other issue?
But, it was it fit fine. It just fit a little too snug, and so they're like, maybe we'll find someone with like just a tad bit smaller. I was like, okay, we'll
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Excuse me, stove or cold soak?
I love my stove. Um, which was funny because depending on the day, like when you think about, there are several times where I was like, I should get rid of my stove, and then I saw people cold soaking, and I like it was just a lot of extra work to cold soak. Because think about it, you have to put your food in earlier, and if you forget to do that, then you're kind of screwed up on dinner, and then it's cold on top of everything. But I enjoyed my stove a lot. Like that was one thing I was very up in the air about because I was still thinking in the ultralight headspace. I was like, I don't need a stove. Like I can survive on cold food. And then after like cooking with my stove, and I was like, I think I want to keep this. Like this is definitely something that I love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people say they love their stoves and they'll never go back to cold soaking or go to cold soaking.
Yeah.
So okay, great.
On a
Stove it
smaller
is.
trip, on a smaller trip, I do want to try cold soaking just to see like how I feel, like how I truly feel about it. But if I had to do a through hike cold soaking, I don't think I would enjoy it that much.
Yeah. hmm Yeah. I cold soaked in the desert section. And it actually worked out nicely. But once I hit the Sierra, it was so cold. I was like, I think for safety reasons, like I
Yeah,
should probably have a stove to have something warm because
yeah,
there was snow everywhere and everything.
yeah,
But when I was cold soaking, there was foresight that needed to be involved. Like, okay, I'm having lunch. So now I need to cold soak my dinner after so it's ready,
yeah,
and if you forget, you're kind of screwed,
yeah,
or you have to eat really late because you have to cold soak when you get into, when you remember. So you're
yeah,
definitely right about that. There, you need to
yeah,
have the forethought or foresight.
You have to
Yeah.
really be on it. If you want a cold soak, you really have to like have a timer set and
Yeah.
make sure that you're really with it. Because if not, you're like gonna be miserable.
Right. You definitely have to have a system or
Yeah.
timer or something like that.